Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 with Zebu Nation. This is our Loser to Legend series with the Bully Wee CLYDE, and today we have for you the regular season finale for Season 3 in Ladbrokes League 2 in Scotland. But we're going to do things a little bit differently for this episode. Normally what we do is we go through the whole season and then we play a game, but today we're going to play the game first and then go through all the ending of the season shenanigans, the checklist and all that stuff. Because, you know, we always get those end of the season emails and all that stuff. So we're going to do that at the end, and we're going to get straight to this game versus STONEHOUSEMUIR. Now, in the last video, I said that it would take a miracle, or at least an outstanding run of form, for us to make this a meaningful game. And, well, the miracle didn't happen because STONEHOUSEMUIR has won the league. They're up 9 points on us. We can't make up 9 points. But we have gone on an excellent run of form, and this is a meaningful game because we are in second place, tied with East Fife, going into this game versus STONEHOUSEMUIR. So it's meaningful to us. It's not particularly meaningful to Stonehouse, so maybe they'll take it easy on us. But in any case, we're going to make the promotion playoffs. No problem there. We have, sort of torched the rest of the league. We're 9 points up on Montrose, who's in 4th place. As bad as STONEHOUSEMUIR beat us, we beat the rest of the league just as badly. But we want to finish in second place. We want to get the top seed in the playoffs. That's what we're going to look for. And so we need to win this game today versus STONEHOUSEMUIR. So let's go. Let's get to the team selection. And as you can see, we got some injury problems, most notably at left back and fullback in general. We got Kieran Duffy injured. He's been out for a while. We've been going with Zubaidi at fullback, who's perfectly fine there. But with McNiff now being injured, we are bereft of fullbacks at the left-hand side. Jordan Stewart has just come back from injury, so we're going to throw him right back into the mix. This is the final game of the season. I know we're getting ready for the playoffs, but this game is important too, and we need him in there. Our other left fullback candidate, Lewis Wilson, likewise injured for a sprained ankle. He's going to be out for another 2 weeks. So we are dangerously thin at left fullback. We essentially have one player on our entire roster who can play left back. Excuse me. Under 20s, we don't really have much in the way of options there that we could bring up either. Let's see, who's our best players? Anybody can play left. There's Lewis Wilson injured. Who's their left back in our under 20s? Probably somebody we don't even want to think about. Graham Patterson. Graham Patterson. Yeah, this guy, 3 jumping reach. Yeah, we're not going to use this guy. That would be disastrous. I'd rather have nobody at left back than that guy, quite frankly. So last game we actually, because of that injury, we had to put Cudahy at left back, and he played left back pretty okay. So if that happens again, we'll move one of our midfielders down into left back. Even our left wingers, I don't think we really have any left wingers who can play left back or even left mid. Like, all of our wingers are attacking midfielders rather than just, midfielders or wing backs or even anything like that. So if Stewart goes down, if he goes back to injury, let's take a look at the medical center. He's got a below average injury susceptibility, but still he's got an elevated injury risk. So if he goes down, I mean, we're going to be out of luck. But anyway, let's go. So we're going with the diamond formation, which has served us well at the end of the season. We're going to take a much more in-depth look at that in a moment. But here is the lineup. Stonehouse going with the 4-4-2. They're pretty aggressive on the wings. They got their captain, Ryan Clark, who also has the most assists on the team. He'll be attacking from that right wing. Look at that, 14 assists, 7.15 rating. He's a dangerous dude. They got their fullbacks going forward, so they like to attack down the wings, which probably isn't great for us since we're going with this narrow formation. And we've got Manson, the youngster, back in goal. Stewart and Zubaidi at fullbacks. King and Breslin. They have really played outstanding central defense this last run. And that's good for us because we're pretty low in terms of options in the central defense as well. Midfield has been holding it strong all season long. Cudahy, Miller, Barry, one of our young signees, has been playing outstanding in the midfield. That allowed us to move Montgomery up top, and he has performed well. The highest average rating on the team at 7.2, and the most assists on the team with 8 to go along with 6 goals. I don't know why this guy performs so well. You look at his ratings, and he's just Mr. Average. You know, kind of have his 11s all over the place. But whatever it is, when we put him in there, he just performs and performs admirably. So he's been playing a lot lately. Thomas, the target man, is back. He's also been playing outstanding. 11 goals and 6 assists this year in 20 appearances. 7.17 rating, playing very well. And, of course, McKinley, our assistant captain. Look at that. 17 goals. He has exploded this season. Just in the last 10 games, he's gone on a phenomenal streak. He's added 5 assists, a 7.18 rating. So our top 3 attackers have just been murdering people in the last, like I said, the last 10 games. So let's go, boys. Stonehouse-Muir came in this one. Blah, 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 blah. We got nothing to lose here. Let's show everyone what we're capable of. Okay. Zubaidi fell for that one. Let's go. Stonehouse-Muir, they got a kind of a small stadium for a team that's played so well the last few years. I mean, they've been at the top of the league for 2 or 3 years now. Unfortunately, one side of their park seems to be a parking garage, so that's no good. Maybe they get revenue from the parking garage. That's something that could give you revenue all season long. I mean, if they own the parking garage, that could actually be a sound financial investment. Here's Miller with the free kick. Doesn't quite get it on goal. Just a little bit high. Looks like a decent crowd on hand. I mean, about as decent as you're going to get at this level anyway. Probably, you know, 600-700 people. It's, like I said, it's a game that's not really that meaningful for Stonehouse-Muir, but for us, and even the league, you know, anytime you get a matchup of the top 2 teams in the league, it's got to be somewhat exciting for the fans. They got to have some kind of interest. Here's Stonehouse-Muir now trying to build the attack. He gets it forward to Rennie. There's a stop from Manson. I'm deciding whether or not to close down on their wingers. I think we probably should. Maybe even their fullbacks too. But on the other hand, I don't want to get pulled out of position, so I think we'll just close down on Clark. He seems to be their most dangerous guy. All right, here's the corner kick. Breen is a little bit injured, but King heads it out of there nicely. Stonehouse-Muir tracks it down. There's not a great ball forward, but Breen's going to get there. Breslin heads it out. And there ends the highlight. That looked like pretty dangerous, but if they want to end the highlight there, I'm all for it. All right, let's see. What sort of highlights are we on? We are on extended highlights. All right, Miller. Corner kick, near side, gets it to Breslin. I really wish we had a central defender who could head the ball. We would have probably a half dozen more goals this season if we just had somebody in central defense who could jump and head the ball. It's been a problem for us for the last 2 seasons, but it's just so hard to find players at this level and bring them in. You know, anybody who wants to come here is probably not that good. And anybody who's that good is not going to want to come here. So we're just going to have to get promoted and then see what the future holds for us. I don't even know if getting promoted to League One will be that much better, but you would think we'd at least get some quality of player. Anyway, here we go. Breen to Clark. Oh, what a defensive stop. The goalkeeper was there. Manson made a nice dive for it. Here is another highlight for them. I'm not enjoying all these highlights they're getting. Zubaidi boots it downfield. Let's try retaining possession. See if we can I feel like maybe we're just giving possession away too much and they're getting too many attempts. So if we hold possession, we can kind of, keep things down and, keep them from getting more opportunities than they deserve. Here's Stewart. What's he doing? Sending it forward. There's another turnover. Come on, boys. We're supposed to be keeping possession. Rennie gets it past the goalkeeper. Oh, get offside, sucker. Get offside. All right, so that saved our bacon. That was a terrible turnover by Stewart, but it's not like we can discipline him and take him out because he's our only left back. So we just got to hope he stays motivated. McKinley's not looking too hot with his rating right now. There's 1 minute of stoppage time to come, and that's going to run out about now. Referee blows the whistle. So that was a fairly uneventful first half. How are we looking analysis-wise? Zubaidi's made a lot of mistakes. Close down on Alex Ure. All right, we'll look about that in the second half. All right, what are we doing here? Let's be assertive and say we owe Stonehousemuir for what happened last time. All right, everybody loves the revenge narrative. Can we look at our stats? Can we not? Field tactics? No, analysis, maybe? There we go. Player analysis. No. Not what I wanted at all. Teams? No. Summary? There it is not. Alright, get out of here. We're not going to overthink this. That's basically what we're doing right now. Tactic-wise, let's look at the tactics. Alright, this is what I wanted. So they said Zubaidi. Yeah, Zubaidi's got a 6.3 rating right now. But our only choice at right back is a 17-year-old, Craig Lindsay. I don't see how he's going to do much better, if as well as Zubaidi. Now we could move Breslin to right back, but he can't really cross the ball. He's more of a defensive player. So we're just going to do what we do. We're going to hope that these guys play better. Maybe we can go back to pep talks. And they got kind of motivated. Can we motivate Zubaidi? No, we cannot. All right, let's get out of here. Stop messing around. Let's get to the second half. Just need one goal. If we get one goal, we can, shut it down on these guys and sort of park the bus a little bit. Even though this formation is not particularly good at parking the bus, it's much more of an aggressive style formation. But, we could, I think, control the match a little more. Maybe that's the secret. Maybe that's what we should do. Is just try to control. And I'm a little wary about changing that from standard because we've kept them scoreless this whole time. And here we go. Here's Breen with the free kick. Gets it forward to Hill, to Clark. It's booted out of there, though, by the defense. Our forwards are not that far down the field. Let's see if Clark can make a... No, I was hoping he could make a horrible mistake. There's King. King's another one of those guys who's performing well. His stats don't look like he should perform well, but I gave him a chance in the first team, and he's been rock solid back there. This is a long highlight, extended highlight. Miller gathers it in, gets it forward to Thomas. Thomas, get it to Montgomery. Nope. He sends it wide, but Montgomery does chase it down. Zubaidi down the right-hand side. Nobody sees him. Drops it back to Cudahy. Going to restart the offense to Miller. Montgomery gets it stolen by Breen, but he gets it back to McKinley. He scuffs it. The old scuff shot. McKinley does that quite often. All right, we're going to look at our analysis. Zubaidi. Close down on Ure. That's what we wanted to do. All right. So Breslin's looking motivated. That's good. Zubaidi's got a 6.2 rating. It's not good. Barry with a 6.4. McKinley with a 6.3. Got some of our players not looking so hot. All right, 63 minutes down. Here's a highlight for Stonehousemuir. Gets it to Breen, the injured man. He sends it forward to Smith. There's a stop by Mason. And it's going to be a corner for Stonehouse. Let's go. Yeah, look at this crowd. That is a really good crowd. There's like at least 1,000 people here, I think. Headed out of the box. Smith sends it back in for Halloran. He's tackled, but Clark gets it. Sends it wide. All right. Good job, boys. Good job. Keeping him out of there. This control tactic, maybe it's not working. It seems to not be working. Breen sends it forward. McKinley heads it out. We're going to change tactics in the middle of a highlight. That's always a good idea. Send it back to standard. Breen sends it into Clark. Sends it back post to Hill. His header is nice and central. Mason's able to gather it in. All right, boys. I don't like all these highlights. I'm sad with the highlights. McKinley's, go get that. Go get that ball, sucker. Go get it. Can't beat Mullen to the ball. Stonehousemuir settles in their offense. Gets it to Hill in the box. He's tracked there by Zubaidi. Drops it back to Breen. Come on, boys. Let's get a steal. Get a steal and a counterattack. They are double covering Hill. He's got nowhere to go. He has to drop it off to Mullen. Bad pass there. Zubaidi gathers it in. Cudahy to Miller. Let's go. That was an awful pass. That was an awful, awful pass. They send it forward to Clark. Clark crosses it to Smith and Manson again with a huge save. All right, we're going to change this up. All right, we've gone to standard. Get rid of that. We're actually going to go opposite, and we're going to do direct passing. It looks like maybe our guys are one-on-one on the back line. They're sending their fullbacks forward. So it looks like our strikers are one-on-one back there. So if we can send the ball just rocketing downfield, maybe even pass into space, see what we can do. Sanderson gets it to Clark. Halloran. Stonehousemuir trying to send it downfield, but Zubaidi is there. Gets it to Barry at midfield. Back to Zubaidi. He blasts it downfield. There's McKinley. He can't get it. He can't win it. Breen, his header goes to Miller. Come on, Thomas. Make a play. Let's drop it back and reset the offense. There's Barry. Can he get it forward to Zubaidi? He does. He's double covered, but his cross gets through. Miller has it. Ooh, that was close. Looks like the goalkeeper might have touched that with a fingernail, and it's going to be a corner, far side. Come on, Miller. See what you can do. Ooh, he drops it back for Montgomery. Montgomery into the box. I don't really know what he was thinking there, but what did that say? Oh, not that. Anyway, here comes the highlight. Here's the counterattack by Stonehousemuir. Clark. He's got two men in the... Wow. What an anticlimactic highlight that was. Let's see. Tell Taylor Barely to man mark Scott Hill. Okay. Sure. You can do that. Here's another highlight. Cudahy. Ugh, bad pass. Mullen intercepts for Stonehousemuir. Sends it downfield, but Breslin gathers it in. He blasts it downfield. McKinley cannot get there. Oh, there's a mistake by Mullen. He crosses to Thomas. The header. Yes, the target man with the header goal. Clyde moves up to second position. Look at that, boys. Just a complete foul up on the back line by the central defender. He should have left it, or maybe that's the fullback, Mullen. He should have left that alone, but then McKinley with the great cross, and Thomas with the accurate header puts it in the back of the net. Let's go, boys. 80 minutes and rolling. Let's just blast the ball downfield. The crowd is going crazy. I don't know why Stonehousemuir's crowd is so loud, but anyway, Zubaidi, that was terrible. Let's take it off of pass into space. Be more disciplined. Here's Smith with a shot. Oh, Manson with another save. I don't know how Manson is so good or why he's so good, but he is playing just so well at the end of this season. There's Breslin with a nice interception. And then Clark to Smith, and there's another stop from Manson. Oof, he gets help from the post. Oh, what was that? Get offside, sucker. Get offside. Yeah. I mean, Manson, the ball is just coming at him from all angles, and he's managing to keep it out of the goal by hook or by crook. Here's another highlight for Stonehousemuir. Clark down the right-hand side. Manson cool as a cucumber. Let's go, boys. 84 minutes. See if we can waste some time here by just blasting it downfield. That doesn't seem right. They're blasting it right back at us. Smith sends it wide. All right. Let's go counterattack. Manson gonna blast it downfield again. Looks like Stonehousemuir has made a substitution. Hill has it out wide. He's double covered. Sends it across. King! Oh my God, that was almost the worst header in the human history. But we managed to recover it. Barry gets it forward to Montgomery. Montgomery sends it up. Can't get it to Thomas. Clark almost made another mistake. Their back line doesn't seem to have great first touch. Maybe we can use that against us again. Oh boy, there's a big hole in the center of our defense. Not liking that. "86 minutes. I would be happy if there were no more highlights. Stewart sends it forward to Barry. Barry to Montgomery. Montgomery gets it up to McKinley. He's going to hold things up a little bit. Sends it wide to Zubaidi. He's got some room if he can make a play. Nope. Bad cross there. Halloran gathers it in and just blasts it downfield again. We're supposed to be staying back, but we're not necessarily. King with a nice header to Miller. Just keep it out of there, boys. Breen with a shot. It's deflected by the defense. All right, let's look at our substitutions here. Here's our problem. We're still in attack on our fullbacks. Stewart's not, though. He's on defense. Do we want to bring in Kieran Anderson, an 18-year-old central defender? I don't think so. Sorry. This is what we're down to on the defensive line. Our backups are two 18-year-olds who we just called up from the minor leagues here. So, you know, we don't really have much options on the defense right now. Zubaidi and Breslin are going to have to win the day. Everybody else, we could bring in Thompson for Barry, maybe. You know, another ball winner. 10 tackling, 5 marking. What's Barry looking at? 5 marking, 5 tackling. How about Stephen Conley? What do you got going for you, buddy? 9 marking, 5 tackling. I have hardly used Conley at all this season, so we're going to bring in Thompson for Barry, and we'll make him another ball winner. 2 ball-winning midfielders. We put them on defense. Sure, we'll put Thompson on defend. All right. It's getting more and more regressive here in our tactics, but there we go. 89 minutes. Stewart with the throw-in on the far side. Gets it to Cudahy. Cudahy's surrounded. Tries to forward it to Thompson, who just blasts it ahead. Looks like Stonehousemuir is going to get their mill in, but Cudahy playing that ball winner, or playing that defensive midfielder, gets it forward to Thomas. Thomas, nice pass ahead to Montgomery. Oh, Montgomery had McKinley racing towards goal, but nice play by the defense. Here's Smith. He's looking to start the offense for Stonehousemuir. Gets it wide to Clark. Clark, come on, buddy. I mean, I'm not rooting for you, but that was awful. 3 minutes of stoppage time. You know, if we can beat Stonehousemuir, we can beat anybody in the playoffs. And we can get promoted. That's what we're looking for. Playoff promotion. That's what we told the board we were going to do, was make it to the promotion playoffs. So, you know, I think the board will be happy with this season no matter what. But I want promotions. I want to see what League 1 is all about. I've had enough of this League 2 business. Zubaidi blasts it downfield. Breen has it now. Tries to send it forward. It's deflected, but Halloran's going to chase it down. Gets it forward to Clark. He's got men on the back post. But Zubaidi is there. He just sort of chucks it out of bounds. 2 minutes down, 1 minute left to go in stoppage. Thompson sends it forward for McKinley. He gets tackled. Not a foul, but we get a corner out of it. 30 seconds to go by the time this corner goes through. Here's Miller near side. Wasting time. Good man. Miller lines it up. A line drive. STONEHOUSEMUIR is there, but they got about 10 seconds to get the ball downfield. Smith has it near side. Sends it forward. Clark. He's got a man running open. If our defense... There we go. There we go. Another shutout. Clyde moves up to second position. 1-0 over STONEHOUSEMUIR. They were by far the best team in the league. You know, they didn't necessarily need to win this game, but we didn't even play our best game, and we still beat them. So I think that bodes well. That was special, boys. That was special. Nice win. Leave the match. All right, so now we're going to get a lot of the off-season emails and all that kind of stuff, and we can take a look. We can settle down. Now that all the games have been played, we can settle down, take a little bit of a look back at the last quarter of the season and see how we come, see how we got here. And there we go. We finished tied with East Fife with 63 points on the season. So after 36 games, we had 18 wins, 9 draws, 9 losses. Like I said, total of 63 points. But we win it, or we come in second place on goal differential. How about that? A plus 14 goal differential. Now, if you watched any of our previous videos this season, I think you would be as amazed as I am with our performance in the last quarter of this season. Because after the mid-season, we had 5 wins and we were a plus 2 goal differential. And then after the 3-quarter season, we had 10 wins and a plus 2 goal differential. So in the last... Is that right? That can't be right. Let's take a look at the schedule. I was about to say we picked up 8 wins, but we did not pick up 8 wins in the last 9 games. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins. We ended up with a plus 13 goal differential. I mean, that was, you know, we started off really well with a 4-0 victory over Queen's Park, which we showed on the stream. And then we followed that with a 3-0 thumping of Albion. So that was a lot of our goal differential right there. There's 7 goals. It's basically half of our goal differential right there. And we had a 3-3 draw versus Montrose, which was a wild game. Then 1-0 versus East Fife. So we were kind of underperforming a little bit against the lower teams, but East Fife, you know, they were a team that was demoted last season from League One, so they're pretty good. Beat them 1-0. And we had 3-3 against Elgin City and 3-3 versus Berwick. So we were scoring lots of goals, but we were also giving up some goals a little bit here. Then 2-1 versus Edinburgh. Again, that's a lower team, but we managed to squeak out a win. And then we beat Cowdenbeath and STONEHOUSEMUIR last 2 games of the season. Both of those are really good teams. So, you know, we're performing so well at the end of the season. And basically it comes down to 2 things. It comes down to sticking with the diamond formation. We played the diamond formation all of these games that we played. And our 2 strikers, Thomas and McKinley, just deciding to light things up. Let's take a look at our squad here. Can we take a look at just the last 10 games? No, not that way. But anyway, here's our league stats. And let's look at the top so we can see everybody here. Look at that. 15 goals for McKinley, 11 for Thomas. They really came on at the end of the season. I don't know how else to stress this. We had some other people, you know, score some goals. Montgomery. Cudahy scored a couple of key goals, which is, you know, 3 goals for your defensive midfielder is pretty good. I don't care where you're playing at. He didn't have any assists, which is not good. But getting 3 goals, getting any kind of offensive production from your defensive midfielder is pretty good in my book. So him chipping in 3 goals helped a lot in that that run at the end as well. And we just got a lot of scoring from a lot of different places. And, you know, it was just kind of magical. The boys just came together and they started scoring. Assists, you can see here, Montgomery, again, our advanced playmaker. That's what you want. You want your advanced playmaker to make plays and get assists. And he created 15 chances, 7 assists. It's pretty good. McKinley, Miller, Thomas. So all of our offensively minded players performed well, and that's what you want. When you bring guys in and say, hey, look, we're bringing you in to play offense and to score goals and create chances, and then they actually do it, it makes you feel pretty good. I'm very happy about that. Average rating wise, you can see, you know, our average ratings are pretty good this season. You know, we don't have anybody who's sub 6.5. But, you know, a guy like Hay being at our lowest rated player is not good. He's one of our most expensive players. He's a winger. We didn't play him a lot at the end of the season, and it might not be that much of a coincidence to say that when we stopped playing our wingers, suddenly the team started performing better. Because if you look, Hay is down here, Danknovich is down here, Ramsey is down here. Who else? Who are our other wingers? Well, Dallas, you know, 6.83. He was all right. So, you know, 3 of our 4 wingers are down at the bottom of the team in terms of average rating, and so it just wasn't working out. Wasn't working out. So we had to go to the narrow formation, and yeah, it worked out. So let's check out some of these emails here. We received $55,000 for achieving 2nd place. That's pretty good. Ian Gibson, our what do you call it? Our general manager is signing a lot of our players and re-signing a lot of our coaches and stuff like that. So that's fine. I gave him that authority to do that, and we're re-signing several people. Hopefully we leave a couple of coaching positions open so that we can hire some better people should we get promoted. All right, so let's run down the checklist real quick and take a look at the season a little more in depth. We'll start with the under-20s, where we did have a youth intake. I do not want to see this. I want to see, oh boy. Oh boy. Why do we have so many? This is not good. This is not good. Copy of general info. How did this change? This never changes. This is supposed to stay. All right, I'm going to pause the video here and figure out what's going on. Be right back. Okay, we're back. I got it sort of figured out. So here's the under-20s. We had a youth intake, and as you can see, it wasn't really that good. We got a lot of sort of 0-star guys with not a ton of potential. Our best player is this guy here, Ross Connolly, 16 years old. 8 heading, 11 jumping reach. That's okay. Only 5 pace, though. It's not so good. 5 marking, 11 tackling. That's okay. He's got positioning and teamwork and some decision-making. So he's a guy who maybe could be halfway decent, but we're looking at moving up a level. So if we move up a level, this guy is completely useless to us. Even if he reaches 3 stars, it probably won't be good enough. So since that golden generation we had a couple of years ago, we haven't had much going on. And you know, we've signed all of those golden generation guys to contracts next season, so professional contracts. So guys like Leach are going to be there. Scott is going to be a professional contract. And a couple of other guys who are currently in the first team, those defenders that I showed you, who are the 18-year-olds. So it's, you know, slim pickings now in the under-20s. We're going to need to improve our youth level in order to get any more, you know, usability out of these guys, unless we have another miraculous golden generation. All right, finances. You saw we got $55,000. That helped us out. That brought the overall balance back down to negative $43,000. Last month the board put in a little bit of cash, $45,000, to bring it down even more. So we spent a lot of money this season, and we were negative in the hole pretty big, but we're crawling our way out of it, so that's okay. We still have the $700 transfer budget, even though we now only keep 5% of our transfer revenue. So if we sell another player through the miracle of whatever miracle that occurred, we won't get much of that budget. Our payroll has ballooned to $312,000. We're currently spending $276,000, which also is quite a bit. But next year we're committed to spending only $248,000. So we'll see how that works out when we get promoted. Hopefully, if we get promoted, all these numbers will change and everything will be, hunky-dory. Scouting budget, look at that. We managed to make it through an entire season with an actual scouting budget. Basically, we hardly scouted anybody, which is how we managed to keep our budget. So I guess that's good. I don't know. Board, let's take a look at the board. They should be very happy. We are secure 59%. They already offered us a contract for next year, and we've already accepted it. We'll take a look at that in a minute. So, our relationship with the board is getting better and better. Look at this. Leadership support, 93%. They're loving it. They still don't like our tactics, although they're up to 40% now, so I guess that's good. They're a little bit more happy about the diamond, I think. Yeah, the fans are satisfied with the impact of the 4-1-2-3 DM wide, even though we haven't played it in like 2 months. Anyway, locker room atmosphere, matches they're happy with. Club finances, they're a little bit less happy than they used to be, but still 63% is pretty good. Club, let's take a look at the club. Ferguson, Miller, and Cudahy, our favored personnel. We are not yet on the loser to legend list. Maybe we'll get there. Next year, I think we'll be on there. Especially if we get promoted, we will definitely be there. Facilities, these are things we're going to look to improve should we get promoted. We only have adequate training and we got below average youth. I think we'll probably try to improve the youth facilities first. Or maybe build a new stadium somewhere. If the board is amenable to that, I think that might be the first thing we try. All right, transfers. Some interesting transfers happened. Did they? Or did they? I think all the transfers that are happening are for next season. Yeah, so we're trying to sign a central defender from Montrose. Kessi Omolokun. We'll work on that pronunciation once we sign him. 22-year-old Englishman. Well, look at this guy. He's got 11 jumping reach, 11 pace, 11 acceleration. That's like outstanding for one of our central defenders. But he's got 12 heading, 13 marking, 10 tackling. That's pretty good. So this guy would at the very least be a very good backup for us, if not a starter. So we're going to try to sign that guy. Zubaidi is leaving to Lajong. Dylan King, our other central defender right now, is leaving to Cove Rangers. Signed, even though he's played well for us, his stats are just, look at his stats. He's performing well above these stats. And I don't know how, I don't know why. But I got to assume it's not going to last forever. He's only 21 years old, but he's kind of reached his peak potential. He could get a little bit better, but at 21, it's fine. He's going away, and that's fine. And then Darren Ramsey, he's been a malcontent at the end of the season. He wanted to play more than he has been. Center midfielder, but we haven't played him much at all, and he's leading to BSC Glasgow of the Lowland Leagues. So good luck to him there. So we're going to lose some players. We're going to bring some players in. I think it's going to be somewhat of a tumultuous offseason, especially if we get promoted. All right, competitions. We haven't really looked at this in detail. But here we are, as I mentioned, second place. We can look at some of the stats for this season. Look at that. What a change. Most goals. We finished second in the league. Most goals with 53. tied with Cowdenbeath and Edinburgh City. No, yeah. And Stonehousemuir beat everybody, 65 goals. But still, that's a remarkable turnaround at the end of the season. Most headers completed, second somehow in the league, and headers completed 61%. So our central defense that's not tall and can't jump and can't head, they managed to hold their own on the back line this season, and that's probably why we were able to win some games. Possession, also second in the league, 52%. So it's just a remarkable season. Most tackles were not on the list. East Fife leading the league with 622 tackles. That's pretty good. Least concessions, look at that. Second in the league. So second in the league in goals, second in the league in giving up the fewest goals. Only 39 allowed in 36 matches. Albion, look at that, 30 allowed. They were outstanding defensively. They just couldn't score any goals. Because they're one of those teams that was playing the 4-5-1 this year, and it was just, you know, a very tough defensive formation, but just could not generate any goals whatsoever. And it kind of shows right there. But yeah, it's just a very good season. Most shutouts, second in the league with 16 shutouts. Elgin City, most fouls, second in the league with 449. Just a couple of shy of Elgin City, finished with 451. Passes completed, 7th in the league. Crosses completed, 6th in the league. Best at hitting the target, 3rd in the league. 40% of our shots on target. That's pretty good. Usually I like to be up at around 50%, but I'm used to higher levels of competition than this. So 40%, we will definitely take that. No doubt about it. In terms of the players, we looked at our player stats briefly. McKinley finished 7th in the league in scoring, 15 goals in 26 total appearances. So that's pretty good. Ryan Waters, number 1 in the league with 25 goals for Stonehousemuir. We'll keep an eye on this boy. I mean, he's getting promoted, so he probably doesn't want anything to do with us, but you never know. Maybe we could try to offer him a contract on the way out. He's only 21, so maybe we could do that. Assists-wise, Montgomery crept onto the list at the end of the season there with 7 assists. Top of the league was Riley for Montrose with 11 assists. Distance run, we didn't really run that far this season. Most key tackles, Breslin with 2.7 tackles per game and 27 key tackles. Morrison of Elgin City with 37 key tackles. Least concessions, we did it sort of goalkeeper by committee. We rotated both of our goalkeepers in, and they allowed several goals each. You know, there were some games where they allowed 3 goals and other games where they'd get shutouts. So they were a little bit inconsistent, but they rotated in pretty well. That might be why they're not on this list. But Daniel Potts from Albion allowed only 14 goals, 23 appearances. Really good. Most shutouts, look at that. Our youngster, Manson, with 11 shutouts in 19 appearances. That's amazing. I mean, he had some pretty solid defense in front of him, but he made some big stops, some big saves to keep clean sheets this season. That's really impressive for such a young player. He's only 18 years old, so he's got a bright future ahead of him. Daniel Potts, 20 years old. He had 13 shutouts in 23 appearances, so even more impressive. He led the league. So good on him. Just too bad he didn't have an offense up there with him. Most tackles per match, Jordan Stewart, our left fullback, with 4.85 tackles per match. He was a tackling machine out there. Most dribbles, who cares? Key passes, Miller and Montgomery. Montgomery comes in at 8th. Miller comes in tied at 6th with 47 key passes. Riley from Montrose again with 68 key passes. Only a 19-year-old. Look out for this guy. Midfielder. He doesn't really look that impressive on paper. But heck, he performed really well with 68 key passes. And then best at hitting the target. Look at this. Top 2 guys in the league, McKinley and Thomas. 60% shots on target for McKinley. If we could just get his finishing up a little higher, this guy would be unstoppable. His finishing right now is only 11. It's on the rise. But man, if he could just squeeze a few more of those goals past the goalkeepers, he would be scoring 20 goals a season, no doubt. And same with Thomas. He's only got 9 finishing. So, you know, he's got even bigger room for improvement. And if both of those guys start scoring, that's when the diamond formation becomes really, really potent, is when both your strikers up top start scoring goals. It's just an outstanding formation when that happens. All right. So we don't really need to look much at the medical center. You know, we got those injuries. Duffy, McNiff, Wilson, all left backs, all injured. Don't need to know much about that. Dynamics. This is one of our keys this season, I think, because if you look at our stats of our players, they're not that great. They're certainly not any better than some of the teams we're playing against, and not even as good as some of the teams like STONEHOUSEMUIR. So how have we managed such a good record? How have we managed to go on such a good run at the end of the season? I got to put it down to dynamics. When you look at the locker room atmosphere, the match cohesion, these guys just like playing together. You know, they've all been together now for 3 seasons. We now have 2 team leaders. Cudahy and Miller are both team leaders. We don't have any highly influential players. Got a decent crop of influential guys, and then everybody else is just towing the line. Look at that. We only got 2 holdouts who don't like us. Henvey and Thompson, 2 guys who aren't getting a lot of playing time, so maybe they're holding that against me. Social groups. Group of players who've been at the club roughly the same and are generally balanced. Hay, Thompson, Smith, and King. Social group B, Miller, Danknovich, and Lindsay. That's an interesting... They share the same levels of professionalism. That's funny. But then everybody else is in the core social group. So, you know, dynamics, I think, have played a big part in our success this season. And I'm going to stick to that. Everybody is happy. When they're enjoying life, they're enjoying soccer, they're going to play really well. All right. They're football. I'm kind of rambling now. I don't know where to go with this. We are going to play East Fife. So East Fife is on the verge of being relegated again. Right? No. Wrong. Competitions. So they were relegated last season. I'm thinking ahead here. They were relegated last season. All right, so we play them, and then Montrose is going to play the team from League One that got relegated. All right, so that's how that works. So East Fife. Got to take a look at these boys and see how we played against them this season. I think we played okay against them this season. I don't think they got the better of us. Maybe we, each won one and then had a draw or something like that. Let's take a look at our schedule. East Fife. Oh, that's not good. They beat us 4-1 at one point. So maybe this isn't going to be... Yeah, they beat us 2-0. Maybe this isn't the matchup that we wanted. 2-0. I know. We can just click on them, right? I know there's a way to compare this team, like how you did against them. Compare with CLYDE? That's their team history. Anyway, okay, there we go. There's CLYDE. They beat us 2-0. They beat us 4-1. And then we beat them 1-0. So, yeah, they definitely got the better of us this season. I must have been thinking of somebody else. So this is maybe a poor matchup for us. Let's take a look at their squad here. Somehow we haven't scouted their squad. I don't know how that works. We've played them 3 times this year, and yet we know nothing about them. That's great. That's great. Kevin Waugh, that's a name I recall. He's a pretty good defensive player. Anyway, Chris Duggan. Yeah, okay, I remember these guys. Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good, but I think they're beatable. I think we can hold them down in, you know, in a 2-game playoff. You know, we're playing so well right now, I think we can beat them. All right. This episode has gone off the rails, so I'm going to end it right there before I ramble even farther. So, we got the promotion playoffs. We're going to record those matches for however long we go, and hopefully we get promoted, and hopefully we'll see you next season in League One. So, until then, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
They call the CLYDE, who will fill your heart with pride. Dressed up in the red and black, we an L sign on the back. They've a winger and a keeper and a great big carpet sweeper. It's the bully